Welcome back to the show. I'm Jenny McCarthy Wahlberg. I'm so excited. The show that I've been talking about, you guys, besides Game of Thrones, of course, Handmaid's Tale. I mean, if you have not seen The Handmaid's Tale, you guys, I promise you, you will love it, and your husband will too. It's a great show to watch with your man. Joining me in studio is Madeline Brewer. She plays Janine on Handmaid's Tale. Season 3 is on Hulu right now. Madeline Brewer, hi.
Hi.
I'm such a fan.
I'm so glad. That's awesome.
I mean, first of all, congratulations on the success of your career, but also the show. I mean, you were in Orange is the New Black. I mean, all of it. You're just, if I was going to play a character on this show, it would be this one.
Yeah.
It has to be so fun to play.
She is. She's a lot of fun, and it's nice to be the one who can bring a little bit of the levity and the comedic relief to these fraught and tense scenes.
For those that don't know, she starts off the show being kind of, rebellious, telling Aunt Lydia, fuck you, Aunt Lydia. She winds up losing an eye. And from there on out, your character just obviously changes dramatically. How do you, as an actress, see her?
I mean, Janine, to me, is not to get too, touchy-feely, but she is I look up to her. I'm so inspired by her. I just think that I think she's a badass. I think that she is tough, but it's like tough looks different on her. The way she's tough looks different than the way June looks tough. Like June is outright like a bad bitch, and Janine is a little bit more like, I don't know.
Almost like naughty schoolgirl, like rebellious.
In a way, but it's a little just more like her resistance is by just being like, you can't get me to stop smiling, and I will not stop smiling, and I will refuse to let you break my spirit.
You do it, and your character goes through so much hell.
Yeah.
I'm hoping, and I think I did read that there's some redemption coming, that she eventually maybe gets some strength.
Yeah, definitely, yeah. By the end of this season.
Correct.
But she goes through some more difficult times before that happens, because it wouldn't be Janine if she wasn't getting the shit kicked out of her emotionally or physically.
I mean, what are some of the kind of pinch me moments you've had during filming?
I mean, just anytime you get to see that whole sea of red walking down a street in like perfect
formation,
perfect lines, is really very pinch me. It's breathtaking and it's beautiful, but it's also you remember the weight of the bowed heads and the bonnets and everything.
And what has been the reaction? Like, what do people say to you on the street?
I mean, a lot of people are like, oh my God, I love the show. I love Janine. I just want to give her a hug. But most of the time it's like, I'll see a barista who's like, why do I know you? Did we go to camp together?
Anne said the same thing.
Yeah. It's just like they know me, but they don't know why. And I don't want to be like, oh, you know me from TV, because that makes me look like an asshole. So,
right. It's so uncomfortable. But your character, I did read that you said that by having that prosthetic, by having one eye, it actually helped you get into character.
Yeah. I mean, it kind of makes you, it just puts you off your game a little bit. You feel a little drunk, honestly. So it adds to Janine's like unbalanced, unhinged kind of thing.
And I know that the cast have talked about how much people are relating to the show, in terms of what's going on in the real world. Are you surprised by that?
I mean, no.
Because you see protest lines and people dressed up in these outfits and using it. And like they talked to Anne, who plays Aunt Lydia, she, said, I told her, I was like, aren't you surprised that it's on both sides of the aisle? People are using these characters as part of their protesting.
Yeah. And I mean, I think in the first season, that was something we never would have dreamed. We never would have thought possible that would happen. And now it's so flattering, first of all, because that's my costume. I get to wear that every time I go to work. But also it's so inspiring, really, because it's using this piece of entertainment, of costume, and taking it and adding a new meaning to it and a more important meaning, and like having it become a symbol of resistance. And that is such an honor. It's more important than than anything else I feel like I've done.
Yeah, it's beyond entertainment.
Yeah.
You know, that's what kind of hope maybe as an entertainer, that you actually change lives and inspire people.
Yeah. That's what you want, ultimately, I guess.
100%. So who do you think Janine was before Gilead?
Well, they've alluded a little bit to what was going on with Janine beforehand, but I think that she was a little bit, she's a little tough, definitely, but also like not the most privileged lifestyle. And I think that served her in her life beforehand. And I think that's why she has such a drastic change, is that way of being, that way of that reaction, that fire and anger doesn't serve her in Gilead. And it forces her to change and adapt. And that's what I love so much about these characters, is they're all so nuanced.
Do you think we'll ever, like, because people are saying we're already there, you know, we're already in this place of, do you think that we're going to get to a place as drastic?
I mean, I appreciate people saying, like, I can understand why they say, oh, we're already there, but we're not in Gilead. We truly aren't. I mean, we're on our way if things keep going the way that they're going, but I don't think that they will, because I know that the people of this country, they're not going to go back. We're not going back, and we're not going toward that kind of future either. I think that something that the show forces people to do is really think. We ask a lot of the audience in that you think more deeply when you're watching the show, and it's a much more, you know, post-viewing is much more reflective than it is like, oh, that was fun, now I'm going to go about my day. You know, you really have to sit with it. But I think that the show wants people to stay awake. And we've been saying that since season 1. Stay awake, stay aware, and don't give up they will take the rights from you if you let them, so don't let them.
Exactly.
It's a simple way of putting it. It's a lot more complicated than that, but...
No, you did a really good job with it. But I remember the end of season 2, June gave her baby and to Emily, I believe, right? Emily. Mm-hmm. And there was a lot of, like, you know, talk online of people not really liking it, thinking, what is June doing? And it was kind of a moment that it was, you're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't. Yeah. And so what do you think? What did you think as an actress reading it?
I mean, as a person who enjoys the show and loves the characters, I was like, June, what the hell are you doing? Get out of here. Save
right.
yourself. But also, I too play a mother on the show, and I understand that feeling of my baby is here and I'm not leaving. There's just no way you're going to get me out of here without my kid. So I thought, I mean, I know a lot of people were pissed, but now June understands that there is a resistance, there is a network, and she knows now that she can use it to possibly get Hannah out. So it was great. It was the only option.
Right. Of course. Otherwise, it would be the end of the show. She'd go to Canada and try to get him out from there.
Yeah.
That was the logical TV version. So you're very young. How old are you? And you're like...
I'm 27.
I mean, how do you have any kids?
Oh God, no. What? No.
So, I don't know. But because the thing is, you have so much, your character, you do it so well. It feels like you've lived an entire lifetime where you draw your emotions from. I mean, how hard is it to get into those really emotional crying scenes where you're watching your baby possibly die?
Yeah, that was tough. Truly. But I'm very lucky that Facebook is a thing, and I have a lot of friends who are mothers, and I myself have a mother who I can speak to about it. And I really just ask the people who know, because I'm not going to do anything accurately or with any level of honesty if I have no idea what I'm doing, and I think I can just go for it. So yeah, I've talked to, especially like in season 1 when I did that birthing scene, I put out a request to my Facebook, like, moms, tell me what it feels like to have a baby. And most of them said some pretty negative things that make me never want to have children. Ever. I mean, something about a watermelon, it just, it ain't for me.
I get it.
But yeah, I ask Facebook. That's the people who know. That's
genius. So you took their kind of commentary and utilized that for that birthing scene.
Yeah. Yeah, and for the sick baby thing, I mean, I just can't. I love kids. I don't have any, but I do enjoy them for limited periods of time. But I can't possibly imagine the thought of having your child taken from you or having your child be sick and not know what might happen, and that kind of.
So that's where you go. That's where you go as an actress. Like, you don't sit there and have to go, okay, let me think of my dead grandma. Let me think of my dead grandma.
No. That doesn't really work for me. I don't know. I've God bless them. I miss my grandmothers, but just doesn't really work for me.
Right.
Just the kind of putting myself in someone else's place is where I go. Yeah.
I was watching the behind the scenes of Game of Thrones and watching not Arya, whoever plays Sansa, I forgot her name. I'm sorry.
Sophie Turner.
Thank you. Sophie Turner, who's amazing. And she kept herself crying in between the takes. And so she literally is like, they're touching her up and she's purposely keeping herself bawling and crying.
So, yeah. Because once you lose it, you lose it. Like, once you find the crying, you have it and it's there and you're using it. And then for some people, I know for me, once it's gone, it's like, all right, well, that moment's over now.
Right. And so you kind of have to stay there, right?
Yeah.
And it ruins it if someone goes, hey, can I get you a Starbucks?
Yeah.
Thanks a lot.
But then I see some people like Lizzie Moss really can go in and out. And she's just in and out and in and out. And just without losing a beat and without losing any level of sincerity, she's just in and out. And it's like, all right, well, that's insane and amazing, and I want to learn how to do that.
It is. I watched that too. I'm like, oh my God. She's like, in a second, can just go there.
Yeah.
In a second. I'm talking to Madeline Brewer. She plays Janine on Handmaid's Tale, you guys. Season 3 is on Hulu right now, and it's so fucking amazing. You have to watch it. I have to ask you about a spiritual experience in Sedona between season 1 and season 2, because I love my spiritual experiences.
Yeah.
What was yours?
So I went to Sedona with my best friend in the whole world, Jenna. Our birthdays are like 9 days apart. So
Shout out, Jenna.
Yeah. So we were like, let's go, do something. She flew from Jersey to LA and we drove out to Sedona, and it was like our trip, just me and her for a couple days in Sedona. And I don't know if we were just like super open to the experience, but we were like, let's go see everything that Sedona has to offer. And, what are they called? Vortexes and the whole thing.
Vortexes.
But she has some friends, because she is, I guess, very into bass nectar. So she's got a lot of friends who are all over the country and who have this kind of network of spiritual, I don't even know how to describe it. So there's a network of them. And her one friend got us hooked up with this guy who took us, he was like a shaman, and he took us on this walk into the desert and took us to the ley lines from the vortexes, and we had these little like metal things. And I don't want to get too much into it because it's Jenna's experience and not mine, but I witnessed Jenna have an experience that was truly breathtaking and still can bring me to tears.
Wow.
About her mom. Who I love and miss desperately. So, it was incredible. And then I cried under a tree. I cried under a sacred tree. And it was just the most incredible experience of my life.
Oh, I love it. I love that you had a great experience, because I do love all my spiritual stuff. And I actually went there and did the same thing, but I did it unfortunately with a boyfriend I didn't like. And it's amazing what happens if you go to Sedona and you're in those vortexes and you're not in a good open place.
Yeah.
It does the opposite effect.
Yeah. Oh, no.
Oh, it was bad.
Yeah.
But I need to go back and do it the right way. Like with my best friend, and be open.
She's the only person I think in the world that I could go and do that with. And it was the perfect experience. My boyfriend has since been like, can we go back? And I'm like, that's my thing. You can go by yourself. Sedona's my place.
I do want to ask you about the character, I guess, Dawn in Hustlers, right?
Yeah.
You're in?
Dawn.
The movie also has J-Lo, Cardi B. I'm obsessed with Cardi B.
Same.
Are you?
Same.
Do you watch her Instagram videos?
Yes.
Oh my God. We play them all the time because I'm like, who says things like that besides me 20 years ago? But she's how is she in real life?
Okay, I did not work with Cardi B because Cardi B has a busier schedule than probably anyone on the planet right now. And so I think she only shot for like 1 or 2 days. It was scheduling, I think, was crazy because, I mean, and with all of those stars, like, I mean, obviously J-Lo and Constance were in for the long haul because they're like the main characters, but like coming in and out with like Cardi B and Lizzo and Lily Reinhart and like Keke Palmer and just like craziness. I was like, just I'll show up anytime you want me. Like I'm here. But
do you get starstruck at all still?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I especially like other actors or like singers that if I had met Lizzo, I would have truly just melted into a puddle.
Oh,
her song "Truth Hurts." Like, if I'm having a bad day, that's
your song.
Just gets me going. I'll sing it loud and proud in front of my boyfriend. I'll be I put the singing single.
You're just fucking funny.
I love it.
I love asking some actresses, and for some reason I feel compelled to ask you about one audition that you just will never forget that either bombed or was something funny happened or some vulnerable moment.
Honestly, I've told this to Jen Houston, who cast Orange is the New Black, and I was like, after I told her, I was like, I shouldn't have told her that. But I went to my Orange is the New Black audition after a long night of drinking, and I think it was my very first on-camera audition. Like I went to musical theater school, and so I'd auditioned for plenty of musicals and plays and da-da-da. But this is my first on-camera audition, and I didn't really understand the whole thing with sides, and you're supposed to memorize them or something. I don't know. I'm like, it's TV. It's fine. And actually at this time, Netflix wasn't Netflix yet. So I thought it was a web series. So I didn't know what the hell was happening. But I was hungover, and I went in for this audition to play this. I was 20 at the time, and the character's written 26, cornrows, tattoos, just very tough. It even said, before Taryn Manning was cast, it said Taryn Manning type. And I was like, this is not me. I am a little blonde Kristen Chenoweth ingenue kind of musical theater person. So I was like, these people are insane. And I went in shaking like a leaf because I was so nervous and I didn't understand what the hell was going on. Reading with the sides in front of my face. And I don't even know if I looked. I don't even know what I did. But I called my mom afterward weeping and was like, that was horrible. I am never auditioning for another TV show again. I'm only doing theater auditions from now until the end of time. And then they called me a week later and I got the job. So.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
And you did tell the producer after that?
I told the casting director. I was like, I don't know if you could smell the booze on me, but it was, no, I was.
See, then
I was 20. I was 21.
You had every right. See, then my brain would have said, "Oh, I need to get wasted now the night before every audition."
No. Thankfully, that habit didn't continue.
Well, and definitely, if that was your kind of worst, that's kind of people's best. I got to tell you,
it wasn't my worst. I've had much worse ones that I'll spare you, but that one was the most memorable because I truly wept afterward and was like, this was the worst experience of my life. And then turned into like one of the best things that's ever happened to me.
Isn't that funny how life works like that?
Yeah, crazy.
Madeline Brewer, it's so fun talking to you. Congratulations. I cannot wait to watch your career as time goes on because you're just going to keep climbing and doing amazing work.
Thank you.
You guys make sure you check out Handmaid's Tale Season 3 at Hulu. Come back anytime. You're awesome.
Thank you so much.
You got it. We'll be right back.
Jenny McCarthy Show. Oh!